Nobody wants to run into a snake in their own yard. Good news? You don't need chemicals or traps to make your yard less inviting to them. In this video, we're not just listing 8 plants people use to keep snakes away. We're going into the actual reasoning behind each one. Some work through smell, since a snake reads its whole world through its tongue and a sensory organ in the roof of its mouth. Others work through texture, or simply by cutting off the food supply a snake is really after. Quick heads up, none of this is a guaranteed snake fence. The science is still thin, but the reasoning behind each pick is genuinely interesting. Let's get into it.
First up, marigolds. These bright orange and yellow flowers are easy to spot and just as easy to grow, with a deep root system and a strong, musky smell coming from both the roots and the leaves. Here's the actual reasoning behind this one. Marigold roots release a compound called alpha-terthional, and it's genuinely proven to suppress small soil pests like nematodes, and even some nearby frogs and lizards. Since frogs, lizards, and insects are exactly what a lot of snakes hunt for, fewer of them around means less reason for a snake to stick around in the first place. So, marigolds may work less by scaring snakes off directly, and more by quietly clearing out the buffet. They're also low maintenance, full sun, one growing season, and easy to replant every year. Line them along a patio or garden bed in a dense cluster for the best chance of any effect.
Next is Citronella grass. The plant citronella oil actually comes from, the stuff in mosquito candles and sprays. Quick note, this is not the lemongrass you cook with. That one's coming up later. Citronella grass grows in tall, thick clumps with reddish stem bases and a strong lemony smell when the leaves are crushed. The reasoning here has some real backing. Citronella grass contains oils like citronello and geraniol, proven to jam the sensors insects use to find a host, which is exactly why it works in bug spray. The theory with snakes borrows from that. Since a snake's forked tongue constantly samples the air and feeds scent particles into an organ in the roof of its mouth, an overwhelming citrus smell could scramble that signal. Nobody's tested this directly on snakes, though. It's an educated guess, not a proven fact. Citronella grass wants full sun, soil that drains well, and only survives outdoors year-round somewhere warm. Cooler climate? Grow it in a pot and bring it in for winter.
This one's a little funny. It's literally called snake plant, but people grow it to keep snakes out. Its real name is Dracena trifasciata, and its leaves grow straight up like stiff, pointed swords packed closely together. Here's the actual mechanism, and it's got nothing to do with smell. Snakes move by pushing their belly scales against something solid and stable underneath them. That's literally how their whole body propels forward. A dense cluster of rigid, upright, blade-like leaves doesn't give them anything flat or forgiving to push against. It's less, "this smells bad," and more, "there's nowhere comfortable to put my body here." Kind of like us trying to cross a floor covered in dinner knives. It's also one of the toughest plants around. It handles low light, forgives missed waterings, and barely needs any care. It only survives outdoors year-round somewhere warm. Everywhere else, it's a houseplant. Onion and garlic are next, and yes, you can eat both. They're packed with sulfur compounds, the same family of chemicals that makes cutting onions make you cry and makes garlic smell so strong. The reasoning behind this one is pretty straightforward. Sulfur compounds, like allicin, the one in garlic, aren't just smelly, they're genuine irritants to mucous membranes and sensory tissue in a lot of animals.
Since a snake's forked tongue is essentially collecting chemical samples and feeding them straight into a sensory organ in the roof of its mouth, a patch of ground saturated in sulfur compounds could, in theory, be a genuinely unpleasant place to stick a tongue into. Both are easy to grow almost anywhere, just full sun and soil that drains well. One important warning, though: onion and garlic are toxic to dogs and cats, even in small amounts, so keep them well away from anywhere pets dig or graze.
Now here's the lemongrass most of us actually know, the one used in Thai and Vietnamese cooking. Unlike Citronella grass earlier, this one has green stems, not reddish, and a milder, fresher citrus smell. The reasoning is basically the sibling version of Citronella grass's theory. Lemongrass contains citrol, a compound with a similar job of disrupting scent-based navigation for a lot of small pests. Since a snake relies so heavily on smell to hunt and get around, a strong citrus scent cloud could, at least in theory, make an area less appealing to move through. It also grows into tall, dense, tangled clumps, so it may double as a physical obstacle, not just a smell-based one. It needs full sun, at least 6 hours a day, and rich soil that drains well. It only survives winter outdoors somewhere warm, zone 9 and up. Everywhere else, keep it potted and bring it in.
Cactus is a simple one. Prickly pear, or opuntia, is the most common pick for this list, covered in dense clusters of sharp spines. The reasoning here is purely physical and honestly makes a lot of sense. A snake's skin, especially along its belly, is what it uses to grip and push against the ground with every single movement. Getting even one spine caught between those scales isn't just uncomfortable, it can actually injure it. So a dense patch of cactus isn't something a snake dislikes the smell of, it's more like a genuine hazard it has every reason to avoid crossing. Plant a cluster near a wall, fence, or gap where a snake might try to slip through. How cold hardy it is depends on the type. Some prickly pears survive down to zone 4. Others need a warm, frost-free zone 9 or higher. Whatever kind you get, give it full sun and fast-draining soil.
Next is a plant whose name says it all, Androphis paniculata, also called king of bitters. It's a small leafy plant, usually under 3 feet tall, with an intensely bitter taste and a strong smell. Honestly, this is the least studied entry on the list. The working theory is that bitter compounds like the one in this plant called andrografolide evolved mainly to stop animals from eating it. And the strong smell that comes along with that bitterness might add to the scent clutter idea as the other aromatic plants here. But most of what's written about Androphis and snakes specifically is repeated folklore, not anything tested. It grows best somewhere warm with full to partial sun. In frost-free areas, it comes back for years as a perennial. Anywhere colder, it's usually grown as an annual you replant each spring. Last up is mugwort, a plant with a long history of being used to keep pests and purportedly snakes away from homes and gardens. It has a strong, almost sage-like smell when you brush against it. The reasoning traces back to a compound called thujone, the same thing responsible for that sharp smell and for the plant being mildly toxic if eaten in quantity. Thujone is known to be unpleasant to mammals like deer and rabbits,
And people stretched that same logic to snakes, even though snakes process smell completely differently than mammals do, through their tongue and that sensory organ in the roof of their mouth. Its more reliable advantage might just be how dense and sprawling it grows, since a tangled mat of stems is hard for anything to move through quickly. Mugwort is incredibly tough, surviving poor soil, drought, and cold winters down to Zone 3. Just one warning, it spreads fast through underground roots, so plant it somewhere contained unless you want it taking over your yard.
So, there you have it. 8 plants people commonly use to make their yard less inviting to snakes, and the actual reasoning behind each one, whether it's scent, texture, or simply cutting off the food supply. Just remember, no single plant is a guaranteed fence. The best results come from combining a few of these with basic yard care. Keep the grass short, clear away wood piles and clutter, and don't leave pet food or water sitting out overnight. Which one are you planting first? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more practical yard and garden tips.